Today on EA Sports. It's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New York Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason. And that can take you deep into January.
Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And leading them out is their 5th-year quarterback.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big play there on the first play of the game. And even 60 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. It's the fullback. That's rushing touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start on the ground. Hall trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on third down, a 3-and-out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. He'll look to throw. Throwing deep for Stewart. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. His 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Now Hall to start the drive. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
2nd and 14. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. This defense for the Dolphins, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Yeah, they held them completely out of the end zone, just held them to a field goal. So they're not just hoping for a repeat here. They're hoping to do it even better. A shutout is their goal.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle here to Coates. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Second down and inches. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. Touchdown! An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins take a 3-touchdown lead. Point after try forthcoming. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. Well, here we sit, week 17, just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Come on. Hey, 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Now this first quarter, let's just be frank, it's been a disaster so far offensively.
Yeah, already down multiple scores, and it doesn't appear they can get out of their own way right now.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
And New York set to take the field. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. They'll run with Hall. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now we've got a stoppage for an injured player, and that appears to be Garrett Wilson, who is shaken up on the play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Hall again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete. And he's got... Another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 41-yard line. Paul on to give up the middle. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year back in week 2, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Durham, and this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And
that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Dolphins have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And they had a long drive going last time, but it stalled out. But still, maybe something positive to carry forward from that last drive.
Well, a few different things that you carry forward. Number one, as you noted, they were moving it pretty well, so that gives them a lot of confidence. The second part is, keeps your defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest up a little bit. And last but not least, you've taken a good look at what you've done on offense, noted where the weaknesses are, and you know when you want to come back to them.
Like when you're organized with your points. Well done.
A, B, and C.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Quay Walker, and the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills, and that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills, but they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away.
Touchdown, Dolphins! A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter. They're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this lead could become.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And New York set to take the field. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down and comfortably. So as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Mike 55, Mike 55.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Right back to Pitts again. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And he is going to have a Jets first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6. Up the middle they go. Durham. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And he is going to have a Jets first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 41. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Going long for Coates. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. It's a big play there for Miami. 56 yards. Defense blitz, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw down.
And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. It's the fullback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown, we saw the payoff, but of course that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now back to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Only able to gain a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken it around the 40. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
It's a gain of 34.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. His pass caught at the 4. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for Big Pat.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are pouring it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Touchdown! A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
33. Here we go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's the Jets punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taken in at the 22. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Miami set to take over. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So the record safely in his pocket. Now it's a question of how high can he go. He's just become the first ever, Charles, to score 30 times in a single season.
Well, let's certainly savor this moment. The first time ever, as you just noted, that someone has hit 30. What a ride this has been.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation. If it decide to take a shot.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And now here is another interception. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And this one caught by Coates. He'll get it inside the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. They'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll get started over at the Caesar Superdome in New Orleans. And the Patriots have the lead in the final stages before halftime. The Patriots trying to hold on and claim victory. We'll stay in the NFC South as we head to Carolina to check on the Panthers. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. 3 touchdown passes there for Trevor Lawrence. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Patrick Mahomes has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Jets head out on offense here to start this third quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Hey, check back 33. Check back 33. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
He'll drop to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
So, CD, here we are. You look at how well this offense has played all year, 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020s, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get through a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're not comparing apples to apples because of the length of regular seasons. But if you think back to the 1972 Dolphins, they were 14-0 in the regular season. 3 wins made them a Super Bowl champion, so they were 17-0 total. Imagine getting through 17 now and then continuing on and winning the Super Bowl. They're an all-timer team already for me.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Davis Price will try to pick it up. And he's got some space here. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Get up! 70 Lions! Bronco 80! Ready, go!
On first down, it's Watkins. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick, and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now a handoff up the middle. Lawton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Check.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now a handoff looking right. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Short throw caught by Pitts. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Here's the Jets punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is brought in at the 21. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
They'll start with Davis Price on the ground. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 54 yards rushing for him now. And he's only carried the ball 4 times.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Viking 18.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. All right. So they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock.
On 2nd down, it's Watkins. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Switch.
Up the middle they go. Lawton. They find some open field here. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 42 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw here. Then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at the 18. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Dolphins offense returning to the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably...
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Miami. 58 yards. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Now a throw here, hauled in. Gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Well, it's an old chestnut, but let's face it, offensively, they've got to have some pride here, because this has been a worst-case scenario all game for them. Keep putting in the effort. Keep trying to keep your quarterback upright and get through the end of this one as quickly as possible.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the fourth quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you that they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
Watch out now, 50 Fury.
Davis Price on 1st and 10. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here we go. Wide, get wide.
On 2nd down now, Lawton runs over it and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 81 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
I know we're in the era of wide open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and they got the job done clearing the way.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jets. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
2 times. 3 down.
2nd and long. Short throw caught by Pitts. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Here's the Jets punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taken right around the 44. Oh, look at the juke. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told.
Ready. 52 blue.
Just like that. 56.
They'll run on 1st down. Lawton. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And New York set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll set up to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down. Trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. 21 yards. Well done on the return. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
Ready.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
It's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything? Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. 67 yards on the ground for him so far.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run the counter. Lawton. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. With that last carry, he's now over 8,000 career rushing yards.
All right, big applause. Lots of clapping for this one, right? Think about it this way. Along the way, he has passed Hall of Famer Terrell Davis, and now he's starting to approach another Hall of Famer in Larry Zonka.
Ready.
56, right there, 56. Man, that's trash. That's trash. 56, the mutt, boys, 56. Check, 56.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
Here we go.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Ready, go.
They'll try to run this one in, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally.
And now here's another interception. And the Dolphins come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for the Dolphins, they finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it could be a potentially devastating loss as they finish with a mark of 9-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.